Greetings everyone, my name is Dr. Jason Freeman. I'd like to welcome y'all to my channel. Alright, so those of you who are more familiar with my channel, you may have noticed that I have a different setup going on here. No, I haven't lost my job. No, I still teach at Towson University, but what I have now is a home office, and this is a new development over the last year or so. The home office, so this is kind of my side of it. My wife's is over here, and so basically I'll be splitting time making some videos here, some videos at work, and I've been kind of leaning towards this for a while. I'm a little nervous about doing so many videos from my office at Towson, only because basically no one said anything, no one's like told me not to, but if at any point they opted saying that we don't want you guys doing videos, especially videos about things that your personal interest from work, then I would have nowhere else to do it. So I figure if I can start the shift now to do some at home, if it does come a time when it's either discouraged or just prohibited, I do have a space to do my videos. And I guess at the beginning, I'm gonna, build it up. I have my bookshelves back here. I'm gonna build it up, have more stuff, have bigger bookshelves behind me. But yeah, so I'm just kind of getting started here. And so for this first video, I do have an unboxing. So back in October, I ordered the new history of the DC Universe. And so of course it's taken a while to get here, but it's finally here, so I'm gonna go ahead and unbox it and also review it as well. So I'm gonna say the things I like about it, things I don't like about it, and whether I think it's something that is useful to buy. All right, so let me go ahead and do my unboxing. I will be more careful. All right, so got my scissors here. All right. So I'm going, if I can get it in this thing. So I'm gonna be opening it, doing it away from me. So actually I cut my finger cooking. So it was on a really sharp knife. And so it slipped. And so I'm not gonna do that here with these scissors. These scissors are a lot duller. I would not be doing this with that knife I cut my fingers with. Just go ahead and open it up. There you go. Then open the box. It's probably not that big. That's one thing. Doesn't seem to be a huge book. So let me go ahead and take it out. So just a bunch of paper. Go ahead and take it out of the box. All right. So first reaction is hardback. Very thin. Like it's actually fairly thin. I thought it was gonna be thicker than this. And it has a plastic cover. So I'm gonna go ahead and open that up. But yeah, so far it looks pretty. Definitely a pretty book. Yeah. Got Garrick, Superman, of course, Wonder Woman, old school Batman, Catman. Got Catman up here. Yeah. The first Green Lantern. Alright, so I took the plastic cover. It's like a little plastic cover protecting it. So I took that off. So you have the DC logo here. On the back, you got Dr. Fate, you got Black Canary, I'm sure, okay, Hawk Girl, and so, yeah, and I'm sure, again, these are some of these characters I recognize. I'm just blanking on names right now, so obviously the big DC comic fans, I'm a comic fan, but I'm definitely not the deepest lore fan. I'm sure, again, he's very familiar. I'm just blanking on names right now. But yeah, it's definitely a pretty book. Yeah, so from the legendary beginning to the shocking end. So one of the reasons why I got this book is that with the DCU, there's a lot of characters that are out there like Mr. Terrific that I didn't really grow up with. And so with this particular, with the DCU and with these movies, I figured that, being that this comes out relatively close, that this is going to give me some feel for the lore in regards to the DC lore. And so if there's a character that pops up that I don't recognize, I'll go in here and I can check them out and try to see who they are. All right, so just at the beginning of the book, so I guess the narrator, the stand-in for us is Barry Allen, so the Flash. So of course Flash has the ability to travel through time with the Speed Force. And so yeah, so I'm assuming that it'll be him going all the way through time from the beginning. And I did see the next page. You do have the beginning. So you have the Spectre. I was like, I knew his face. I know him from Kingdom Come. But you have the Spectre, and then you see the early kind of beginning people and beings like Sandman in the DC universe. And so the first thing I really like about this book is that they set it up almost as a story, as a narrative. So it's not just like an encyclopedia where it's like this, this, and this. Basically, it starts with, again, the beginning of time that we saw and is going through to the different periods. And so you have, for example, Queen Nubia, who I know will be right here, who I know will be factoring into the DC. So James Gunn has talked about it. And so you see kind of where she lies. Also, Shazam, and like the beginning of, or sorry, Black Adam. So the beginning's there. And so yeah, so you get to see kind of where everything lays in time. All right. So one other cool thing. So I did a video about the black heroes we want to see in the DC universe, or DCU. Icon. We got Icon in there. Oh yeah. Another thing I like about the book is that there's nothing here that is particularly, like, I would say, gory or bloody. I mean, you do have Jonah Hex here and some, like, his kind of, you know, injured face and kind of deformity there. But for the most part, there's nothing like that is gory or like X or R rated, that type of deal. So this is something that kids, I would say, would at least be able to look at. Not necessarily would buy this for a kid, but definitely it's something that, again, it's not something that you have to kind of hide away. Now, as I mentioned, one of the reasons I got this book is that as new characters pop up in the DCU, I'll be able to kind of look back at them, look at this book to kind of find who they are. And so every page, and one thing I like about this, every page I've discovered new characters, people I haven't seen before. Now, of course, there are people who I'm familiar with now, like the Creature Commandos. There's a section like World War II Creature Commandos, see here. And so, yeah, and I'm familiar with them now. I wasn't familiar with them before they were part of the DCU. And so it's really cool to kind of see all these interesting characters. Now, I guess one potential negative is it could be a little bit overwhelming. There's so many characters, like Quiz Kid. I've never heard of Quiz Kid. Cherry Bomb, TikTok. And so, yeah, and I'm curious, are these, like, what was the kind of criteria for who gets included and who doesn't get included? Because I'm sure there are other characters who could have been included in this book. I'm not sure, but could have been in this book. I'm curious, what's the criterion in regards to what characters, like, does it have to be like specific, like a DC, was in a DC comic at some point and therefore they made it in? But with so many characters, again, why were some featured and why were others not? Yeah, and towards the end of the book, you start to see characters like Batwing as well as Ace West. And so as the DC universe has evolved over the year, become more diverse, this book definitely reflects that as well. Now, one last thing that I really love about this book is that it has a timeline. So kind of like as you kind of go through the book with a timeline, then there's more of a kind of truncated timeline, but with comic recommendations. So you can kind of see the specific point in the history of the DCU along with comics to look at and to read from that period. So what don't I like about this book? Well, if there are any critiques that I have of this particular book, there are kind of two of them. The first one is, because it's so short, I feel like with each of the characters, they could have more detail. So if this book was, say, twice the size or even 3 times, and there are like 3 books in one here, but if this was like 3 times the size, I think it would give more details for each of the characters. Like, for example, Icon is in here, so he's born, but you don't really see very much for him. Same thing with Static Shock is in here as well. Sorry, not Static Shock, Static. Static is in here, and you just don't get much for him. So I would have made this a little bit thicker, more details for each character. So that would be one of my critiques. And I guess my other critique would be also, and this is almost like an existential critique of a book like this. So the DC universe is constantly evolving. You have like the like absolute universe going on now. Which I don't think actually is relevant to this. I think this is just more supposed to be the mainline universe. But even the mainline universe is evolving and changing, and new characters and things are being created. So any book like this is going to be instantly obsolete. There will be other characters that are going to be missed. And so this is a good snapshot of right now, essentially. But I don't necessarily know, like 10 years from now, once we get through the DCU, you know, is this book going to be relevant at all, or is it just going to be like a little nice, pretty thing on my shelf? And so in regards to, is this a useful thing to buy? I think this is useful if you are interested in, again, if you don't have a deep encyclopedic knowledge of comics, just to kind of be able to go here just for a quick look at, you know, just quick at, you know, what character this is I just saw in this movie or TV show. Now, obviously, you can go online and there are websites like DC Fandom and things like that. You can do that there. But again, it's a quick little thing on the shelf to kind of grab quickly. Like if you see a character, like you're watching something, you see a character, go grab the book. I think that's useful in that regard. And if you like books with pretty illustrations, it's a very pretty book. Like there's a lot of really cool illustrations in here. Like you open up a page and it's really nice looking. So that's another plus in regards to like a comic, you know, book to have on your shelf. But beyond that, I don't really know if this is super useful to buy outside of just the aesthetics. And maybe like the quick reference. There is a lot of stuff online. You can actually go and look it up quickly without having to go to the book. So in that regard, it's not the best source. And again, because it's so thin, I think that it's not going to give you the detail that you would really want to learn about a particular character. But other than that, again, it's a pretty book. It's a book that you can just grab off the shelf. So in that regard, it's useful. But I wouldn't necessarily think you need to go out and grab it tomorrow. If you don't, you know, want this book, it's cool. Like it's not a must-have in my opinion. But again, I like it. It's pretty. I'm gonna stick it on my shelf. And every so often, when I see a character, I'll just grab the book off the shelf and look at it and say, oh, that's who it is. Now, if you found this review interesting and or informative, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, please share this video. And if there are other books or other products from DC that you want me to review on this channel, please leave those suggestions in the comment section below. Thank you all for your time and have a wonderful rest of your day.